Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? And yes, welcome to a brand new, potentially longer mod pack than the previous one. Why did I choose this mod pack? Good question. Well, first off, they had an amazing trailer. The second reason is, this mod pack is solely based on the HBM Nuclear mod, a mod that I have never played with, so it should look very fresh for me. It means that there is no Ender IO, there's no thermal expansion or mechanism or any mod that we are familiar with. And that makes me very excited. Of course, there are other few reasons which require an honorable mention. I'm joking, the main reason is just the door. I have also made a few changes to the mod pack. For example, we have the journey map. The default ore generation of this mod pack was incredibly confusing, so I followed the instructions in the questbook in order to disable it. However, don't forget to change the settings in the configs of this mod so that you don't struggle like me for 20 hours. And yes, I also added inventory tweaks. Since this is an older version of Minecraft, I'm going to make 2 episodes of this mod pack. If you enjoyed it, let me know, then we continue. If not, we end it. So let's get started. I think our first order of business is to try and find a sapling. That's according to the questbook. Can I have just the one, please? It's been a while. Yes, so we can convert saplings into sticks. We have to do this because there are no wooden tools. We need flint. We got one, so that should be my hatchet. Now, if we do manage to get a teeny tiny bit more flint, we can also make a pickaxe, go to stone tools. That's one. You can't craft flint, right? Nope. So breaking gravel it is. We just have to get lucky. And honestly speaking, I'm just being super unlucky. Come on, dude. Give me one flint. Yes. Yeah, we have 3. So just for the quest account, here's a shovel. And here's my pickaxe. And there's the stone. Lovely. Let's get a bunch. You know, so that at least we can do some Minecraft. We don't need the flint tools. So, that's a wild pig. He didn't like me. I need food. They do quite a bit of damage. But our best find for today is actually the sheep. You know, if we get enough wool, we can actually make a bed. Just the one. We do have Pam's Harvest Craft, but they just give you the seed. So you can't really eat anything, except the animals. There's a landmine. Finally. Found more sheep. And this time we did manage to get enough wool and a ton of mutton. Do we have like lutein 400? No. But let's try to make a bed as soon as possible. I just wanted to skip the night. So this is hemp. We need that in order to make string. This is a dud. Cool. I think it was radioactive. In this mod pack you cannot really harvest coal easily because there are gases. You see? So in the open it's not that bad, but when you're caving, it's not the best. Yeah, it's hard to breathe. There's also an abandoned structure over there, which I think it's a reactor. Which again, to be very honest with you, I'm not even sure we should visit there. Mushrooms. Radiation. Yeah, we shouldn't go there. Let's walk back. And let's pray that I can get my garbage back. Okay, we got everything. We're on. You know, that's perfectly fine by me because I think this time our corpse is a bit far away from radiation. So we can claim it. Yes, we're far away. Give me my head. That's not my head. Everything in this mod pack wants to kill you. I did try to walk as far as possible from the reactor itself and we have reached a decent area. I also found something of interest over there, but I'm not sure if it's radioactive, so let's sleep. Sleeping is fast. You know, at least in this way we do have a spawn point. Let's get a few torches. And we try to find the entrance. It's the other way. Oh, it's a spaceship. We can live here. If it's not radioactive, we can open the chest. There's a gas mask. We can mine coal. And there are chests. We don't have inventory tweaks. Well, it's actually quite nice. We have found the base. Also remember, a bed has to be purple. And that's our new spawn point. Perfect. So if we die, we don't lose much. There is an antenna, iodine, dust, and some garbage. I have to install inventory tweaks. That was a landmine. I didn't see it. I decided to come to a close by mountain because we're also looking for more sheep. I need to make a sleeping bag. I should have probably done that after getting shears. As it turns out, I was correct. Sheep are more common here. There is another building. Let's not go in. Yet. So there you go. The sleeping bag. Now we can safely explore what the hell. You can also starve to death. Instantly. I was so close. I decided to do some mining, and since in this mod pack we don't really have a cave system, I just dug down. It's not something super fancy, I just dug down a bit, found some iron. Here. And over there. In total I found 9 pieces, which is perfect. I think we should use some of that in order to get a decent pickaxe. And maybe a bucket. And of course a hoe, because food is becoming a problem. And there are crazy mobs outside. What do I have to lose? As long as there are no crazy mobs, we should be fine. There are crazy mobs. He's a ninja. According to the quest book, if you want to have a farm patch, you cannot just have a farmland. You need to have water. My hoe broke. That was so fast. Anyways, one of the other things that we have in this mod pack is AgriCraft. Everybody's favorite mod. Not really, but at least getting food later on is going to be a bit easier. Besides, we are going to starve to death anyways. At this very moment, it doesn't really matter. We don't want to mutate the crops, but we want to have some crop sticks. And pray that they grow. I don't think you can bone meal Oh, you can. We have tomatoes. And we just got an extra heart. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, let me try to do some mining, try to find other seeds, and I'll be right back. I have gathered a decent supply of resources. I'm not very organized, I'm very sorry for that, but we are set to go. And I thought maybe it's actually time to do some proper quests. Because until here it was just a bunch of information. So the main mod that we have in this mod pack works with anvils. Here is a lead one, and since we don't have enough lead, the other one will be made out of iron. It's a super cheap recipe. Nobody cares. That's actually how we craft everything in this mod pack. So now that we have our anvil, we can get into the actual mod and we can craft the machines. The first machine that we have to make is a burner press. There you go. The press. Unfortunately, the press itself doesn't really fit in our base, so we put you here. And what we want to do is to make some sheets. We need some sort of a stamp for that. And I think the better material that you use, the better durability you will have. So we go with iron, right? Because our next machine is going to be the blast furnace, and it does require copper sheets. The gist of it is, even though I have done a ton of mining, I did not find any diamonds, which is weird. Maybe I screwed up the ore generation. I did check, there are diamonds, but I didn't find it in this world. So I thought the better alternative would be just to get some steel. You know, for tools and armor. So this guy requires fuel. And do you press? Oh, that's a flat stamp. Yeah, I just made one from stone. It was easier. But that's our copper plates. This is a cool machine. I love machines with animations. So in order to make the blast furnace, we need fire bricks, we need stone. Well, that's the stone. And for fire clay, the recipe is not that horrifying. We just need clay, limestone, which I should have a bit. We can also use aluminium, but I just want to empty my inventory. We do have 40, let's just cook it, and I'll be right back. With the blast furnace. That's big. So basically you take iron, you take sand, and I think you need flux. Correction, you don't need flux. You need that if you want to use actual iron ore, so my bad. But this is cool. It even has particles. If you look the speed that the blast furnace is working, you might notice that it's not amazing. This is the progress bar and it takes ages, so we're gonna cut it in half. We have 2. I misplaced it, but this is great. Now we have some steel to waste. Actually, the first wastage of steel that we're going to have is going to be for making the tier 2 anvil. This is why we needed 2 anvils, because you need one in order to upgrade the other one. As for the rest, we're just gonna waste them on tools. I needed the hammer. Cause yeah, I did not find diamonds, but we can sieve for diamonds because we have ex nihilo. Yeah, it was just checking. 750 durability, 250, so it's 3 times better than iron. As for diamonds, yeah, they're still better. F5 in this mod pack is a bit weird, I'm sorry. But I look fancy in steel. But I want to go on a very small adventure, and there are a few things that we should be able to craft. We do have spice of life in this mod pack, so we have to eat different variety of food, so here's a lunchbox. Juicer is super cheap, so it's just better to make juices. Also, I was not a fan of the backpack which was available in this mod pack, so here's what we're going to do. I installed the iron backpacks. So we make one of those. I wanted to upgrade it to iron, it does require a block of iron and we don't have it. But let's take some food and we go exploring. I just want a few things like clay, I don't know, leather, like that. And if I find something of interest, I'll just bring you in. Oh, that's a landmine. Right? Can we break? No. I thought we can break it. My fellow lords and ladies of darkness, I'm back from exploring and well, I did not find anything of interest. I did manage to get a few extra seeds, a bit of leather, but I did discover a few things which are interesting. One of them is that if you look at my pickaxe, it will tell you that it has vein miner, and for the longest time I was looking for how to activate it. Apparently you just right click and voila. There you go. And that got me thinking, is there a better pickaxe? So apparently if we want to progress like normal people, after steel, there's titanium. However, after that, there's cobalt. Anyways, near the bedrock level, I did manage to find these cobalt fragments. You can't just smelt them, you need a crucible. And guess what? I already made a crucible. So the crucible doesn't work on its own, it does require external heat. This is why we have a heating oven, and the crucible goes on top. And of course it's better if we place it like this. You know, we need these faucets. So we provide some fuel for the heating oven, and we put the cobalt fragments inside. They should melt, and they do cause pollution, and we get nuggets. To cast it out, we are going to need a foundry basin with a mold for ingots. I think this guy has to go on the green side, and yeah, it works. That's cobalt ingot. I already made the one, just to make sure I can. It's like Thinkers, and it's cool. And exactly like Thinkers, you can use hoppers. It's kind of nice. You can also use pipes, but I haven't made them yet. So at this very moment, we can have 3 cobalt pickaxes. It does give you a better vein miner, silk touch, and fortune 1. And it also has better durability. And I think we're out of cobalt. One more ingot. Because I also want to make the armor. Oh, and by the way, there's a way better cobalt pickaxe, but unfortunately, it does require a better anvil, which is made out of dish. All I'm trying to say is that that's probably not for today. Also, we're going to need a brand new steel chest plate. Because you can't really upgrade your damaged armor, you have to use a brand new one. And then we're going to need these cobalt round items. A bit difficult, but I think it was worth it. Gives you better armor. Oh, and by the way, I do have a compressed hammer and I have been using that. So we have 1 diamond from sieving. It's a heavy mesh. Not a mesh. Sieve. I'll go get more cobalt. So you can enable... We crashed. But yeah, we can enable silk touch, fortune, and vein miner. This should be good for getting more cobalt. I'll try to get more. Don't you worry. And I just wanted to mention, I think it also mines faster. Look what I found. Diamonds. So I did not mess up the ore generation, I was just unlucky. But that's cobalt. There has been a blood moon for 2 consecutive nights, so I was in there for like 40 minutes. And I just wanted to mention, I look fancy in cobalt. Our new sword does actually double damage, which is amazing. That makes me really happy. I made myself an extra backpack and I also upgraded all of my chests to iron. We were running out of storage. But before we proceed with the rest of the quest book, here's what we're going to do. What we're going to need is a brand new base. Because let's face it, this is not a base. And even though this place is green and nice, it's actually very small. And I don't like living in the desert, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and make a base over here next to the mountain. Exactly, somewhere around here where we have some room to expand as well. There was a landmine. This place is not safe. But the main problem with this beautiful area is that thing over there. There are hostile creatures and we need to get rid of them because that's their spawner as well. And apparently if we pollute the area, they're just gonna expand, so let's get rid of them. We try to vein mine. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. It's a good thing they don't poison you or anything. That's a spawner block. It's broken. That's another one. Oh, come on. How many? There's another one. I think that should be almost all of them. But just to make sure, we remove every single block. There's also a bit of loot. Interesting. Yeah, I think we already destroyed every single block. They shouldn't spawn anymore. That's our brand new home. We do have to make a few trips back and forth to carry all of our items, so let's get a new backpack. I have been smelting down some gold. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be enough, but let's see how many. Well, we can upgrade one of the backpacks to gold. Do I have gold here? Not really. Just the one. I have also been sieving. But at least we can have 1 diamond backpack. That's a decent storage, right? Yeah. It's like 1 chest. And I can have a 2nd diamond backpack if I get more gold. Do I actually even need that? No, we had enough. Barely. So ladies and gentlemen, let's move. So my fellow lords and ladies of darkness, it's not exactly a work of art, but at least we have a roof. Also, blocks are expensive, and I'm not a builder. The base is made out of concrete, which I got it from the pyramids, which you can find in the desert. And even though we have a garbage door, which is our mission for today, it does have a number. Also inside, we're not going to have any lights until we go to the Nether, but the only thing that we have is our bed. That's it. So the main thing that I really want for today is to just get a door. And there is a very fancy door. This guy. I'm not really sure if I can actually get a door today, but in order to do that, we're going to need a bunch of machines. Which does mean that we can also do some quests. So the first machine that we are going to need is a generator, and we're going to go with the wood burning generator. We do have some copper coils, and we do have an analog circuit. We do have to make way more. So that's our wood burning generator. Let's get 2. That is a quest. Lovely. Then there is something called a soldering station, which looks expensive. Because in general, what we need to do is to make an assembly machine, and in order to do that, we need some circuit boards, hence we need a soldering station. We also need that for applied energistics, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that is true. So, soldering station is... wow. Let me get the garbage. We should have tungsten. I'm very organized. Oh, and by the way, I did make these bricked furnaces. They're amazing. So it does give you a byproduct, coal ash, which is black dye, and you can also burn it inside the furnace. But it also smelts down building blocks a bit faster. Look, that's stone. We don't want that though. Anyways, let me get some gizmos. You know, this stupid mold was very expensive. Look at the amount of iron it needs. Also, next episode we're going to deal with pollution. Because honestly speaking, I don't really think that these machines are going to cost that much. We're at early game, but yeah, that should be what we need. Right? Yes. Cast steel plates. So now if I want a soldering station, we can craft it. Lovely. How do we connect it to power? We did steal a few cables from the ship. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it does connect. Lovely. Oh, it does have an on and off button. That's cool. Let's get some circuits. However, I think as a quest reward, yeah, we get some printed circuit boards. That should make my life a bit easier, and we need some capacitors, which is not a big deal. Is it? Actually, there is a rare earth, which you can put it inside the anvil and crush it. That should give you something called niobium, which we already got. Yes, that we can use in order to make capacitors. Maybe. And it also works with copper wire. We don't need aluminium because that's a bit painful. So there you go. A few capacitors. Finally. That is the recipe for a circuit board, and I just love the animation. This is cool. We got 2. I have just noticed that the game is a bit laggy, and I think it's because of those. So on the map you might notice a few mobs. Maybe some of them is causing some FPS drop. Because if I look that way, it's fine. Anyways, I think I have all the material. That should be our assembly line. Or machine. So we shall have some dire wire connected to power, which we have. And now we can make something called the shredder. This also allows us to do some ore dabbling. Expensive mode item. Oh, okay. Oh boy. I'm running out of steel. Well, we have the 2 motors. We have the steel plates. We just need this guy. Bolted steel plating, which needs titanium. We have some titanium, and I think I have a bit more steel. Okay. You have to choose it inside the assembling machine, and then you put the garbage in. Oh my goodness, this is lovely. Bolted steel plating. That was awesome. So can I have my shredder? I think I can. That should be the shredder. Lovely. That should be another quest. We can also have ore dabbling. We do need blades though. And titanium seems to be our best bet. Yeah, you see some of the mobs are gone. FPS is better. I think there's a conflict with shaders. But yeah, those are the blades. Now we can also get dust. And also do ore dabbling, which is perfect. Let's give it a test. A bit disappointing, this one doesn't have animations. But yeah, that's ore dabbling. I should have done that with titanium to get more gears. You know, it's a bit stupid that I'm doing this all for a door, but once you see the animation of that door, you're going to be amazed. So inside the crucible, we have to choose something called high-speed steel, because we need that in order to make the door, right? And we just got 1 ingot. Let's get a bit more. Still 1 ingot. Oh, actually, it's 3. So it's on the red side, we put you here. Oops, nope. Yeah, we want this one, the shallow one. And that's 1 ingot of something, we just have to wait for it to solidify. Oh, that's the correct one. High-speed steel. Oh, that's a quest. Interesting. Let me try to get a bit more steel. I'll be right back. We can finally make the door. You know, there is a high chance that I have steel. Yes, I'm very organized. Now at least we're just missing 2 ingots. Oh, we have all the plates. Yeah, definitely very soon we have to move on to applied energistics because this is not working well for me. So can I have my door? Yes, I can have my door. Lovely. That's not our new door. How big are you? Oh, you're 4 wide. Oops. Why are you 4 wide? It's fine. I can accommodate. That's cool. And loud. Very loud. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have a proper door, I thought maybe we should also work on the interior of the base. However, the problem is that I'm out of resources. One of the things that you might have noticed in this world is that there are no caves for some reason. And I don't really have a mine shaft over here, so we have to go back to our old base. I have prepared some food, some torches, and well, I need a lot of coal, so let's try to sort it out somehow. So apparently what we can do is that we can just make some cloth, and then if we hold the right click... Yeah, that happens. We need 3, and that should give us a basic gas mask, trench mask. That feels weird. Actually, that's how they did that in World War I. Apparently it's better than nothing. Let's go mining. Also, I think we have to do something about pollution because, yeah, I hear grass breaking. That's a sign of pollution, I think. Anyways, see you in an hour. So I can confirm the gas mask works. It's just that you throw up a lot. Which is understandable. Gases don't affect us anymore. I'm just gonna use it for coal. Other than that, it's just ridiculous. We'll make something proper. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from mining and we are relatively rich. Relatively. Some of the items are being processed inside the shredder though. It's very efficient. However, I don't really recommend that stupid mask. I had to kill myself because the nausea and vomiting was not going away at all. But anyways, let us move on. First, let's deal with the pollution. There is something called a smokestack. There are 2 variants. One of them is the upgraded version, which is a bit more expensive. It's also part of the quest book, so we might as well do that. The first tier only gets rid of 75% of the pollution. According to the wiki, the second tier gets rid of 90%. But it's a bit more expensive. So for the quest to count, let's get the first tier. It ain't cheap. We also need something called a steel beam, and I think we can craft it like this. No? I thought there's a cheaty recipe. Oh, it's 3 of them. Okay. My bad. So in a crafting table. That should give us some steel grate. Can you place it down? Oh, I was thinking maybe we can use it as a window, but no. Okay. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is our smokestack. And that's the quest. Wow. I did not expect that. I wasn't expecting it to be that big, but we also get some exhaust pipes. Don't know the recipe, it's not that bad, but we can connect machines which cause pollution using this pipe to the smokestack, and pollution should be reduced. How would I know? Well, there is a pollution detector. Let's try that. Pollution seems to be chunked base, and well, it's dropping. So it's not that bad. I don't know what is dangerous levels of pollution, that's the problem. There is not that much information on the wiki, but we will go with these. One of the things that I did not pay attention to is that in order to make the tier 2 smokestack, we need a dash anvil, or a tier 3 anvil. However, it's a blood moon, and I don't have anything to do for like 20 minutes. Oh, this takes ages. Come on. Sneak! Close! We can't sleep. Lovely. I made more smokestacks and also some ash pits. The smokestack goes on top, also the ovens, and apparently we get some byproducts. Oh nice, they see me. You know, I have never played with shaders, but they look really nice. Not all the stupid mobs, in general. Well, the sun is rising. We will escape that way. Nobody's burning. Oh, they are burning. Oh, they're waiting at the door. And they have baby zombonis. I've actually killed a lot of mobs. Whoa. Hi, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I can't really get out. We have to make a run for it. Bye-bye. I don't think they're following me, which is a good thing. The mobs are gone, so let's proceed. I think we have done enough quest progression for today. Let's just try to have a nice base and, you know, sort out the food. So one of the things I have realized is that this shredder is actually quite amazing. You can fill in all the slots. And it does all of them at the same time. Also, the reason that I wanted some lignite powder is that is our dictionary for brown. Because I really want to try this concrete. It's called bronze plating. It does look nice. For some reason, it's hard to breathe. Oh, it's because of the lignite powder. Yeah, now we should be fine. Cover your ears. And let's see how this guy looks. It's not bad. Reminds you of blood magic, right? It's also kind of nice because you have tiles. It's not smooth like the other ones, it's just that I need way more. A bit of a time later and you might notice the pyramid in the desert is dwindling, while our base is expanding, which is quite good. Anyways, moving on. Every few nights we do have a blood moon, you cannot skip the night, and there are going to be crazy mobs. So I can't really work outside, I have to find something to do inside the base. So one of the things that I have done is that I have made myself an auto sieve and an auto hammer. It also does take ages to break anything from this mod. It's weird. Not the dirt. I'm aware that you have to use a shovel, but we are going to have our wood burning generators outside. That looks weird. I think sideways, yeah, it's still floating. Yes, take number 2. We just placed them outside. The power system in this mod makes something called HE. We need to convert it into RF, and thankfully there is a converter, which is also like a battery buffer, so we're going to use that. It's not a crazy buffer, it's just like 1 million RF or something, but it's good enough. In that way, inside we can have our auto hammer and the auto sieve that I forgot to make. Yes, I'm a genius. Like so. So if we provide our generators with some power like so, and turn them on, power goes inside the converters and we should be hammering, right? Very slowly, but yeah. Compressed sieve and a compressed hammer would have been lovely, but they do consume a lot of power and these generators are not the best. I wanted to keep things cheap. Also, I have not used this since Project Ozone 2, but if we give it a diamond hammer, will it work faster? It's working faster, it's just that we're out of power. Well, I tried to cover everything and I think it looks nice. A bit. We do need better generators, that's for sure. Especially if we want to get into applied energistic system, which I'm not even sure what are the gates for it, but our next addition to the base is gonna be, of course, the kitchen. We should always have a kitchen. It's not amazing, I'm missing a bit of clay. I didn't want to waste all of that for cabinets, which are going to be empty. I tried to make the kitchen a bit more fancy, and yes, we're still out of clay, so I need one more cabinet here. And I have also made all the tools from Pam's Harvest Craft, so we can craft a ton of food. And outside, I have planted every single seed that we had. We don't really have to put them inside the crop stick, they're not even mutated. But at least when I want to mutate them and use AgriCraft, we're good to go. However, a big problem that we have around the base are the torches. I can't really get rid of them because we haven't been to the Nether. And just in case you're wondering why we haven't been to the Nether, it's because we need a very special suit. Cause otherwise we literally burn. So with the sieves I thought maybe we can get some glowstone, and I was correct. We got 9. It's not very efficient, we need to put fortune 3 inside. Which also I don't remember, do we need 30 levels of experience or 50? I don't really know, but we can't even craft fortune 3, we have to get lucky. Long story short, we do have Project Red in this mod pack, so we should be able to make a few lamps. And by a few, I just mean 9, because we have 9 glowstone. Oh, we can't even have 9. Oops. Generally speaking, I hate being poor. I don't know, we put one there, next to my beautiful face. Maybe one for the bedroom? Why not? And obviously one for the kitchen. Where do we put it? Up there. You know what? I just remembered, mobs don't spawn on this concrete. They do spawn on the factory blocks, but not on this concrete. So we can remove most of the torches. Also, for the fire proximity suit, I just realized I might have made a boo-boo. So we need something called fire proximity cloth, right? It needs something called bromine. And it comes from a weird cycle. But if you have the assembling machine, you just need asbestos. So you do find it while mining, and I think I have found some because my lungs were burning. That's not the one. Is that the one? Yes, we have 12. Yes, my lungs are burning. We put it back. We also need a ton of string. I have planted some hemp. You don't really need to put it on farmland. And it gives you a lot of string. My lungs are always burning. You can't keep anything in your inventory. So, fire proximity cloth. String goes in, that's my asbestos, and we wait. I removed the generator, but it gives you 4 at each iteration, that's not bad. We keep some of the asbestos, so we needed 1 gold plate, that should be the helmet, that should be the chest plate, the leggings, and the boot. We can go to the Nether? Probably. Oh, it blurs your vision. It's okay, we don't really have a choice. Let's just go and try to get some obsidian. There is a lava pool up there. I was gathering snow for making smoothies. That's the lava pool. That's our obsidian. Please vein mine. Am I even mining? Oh boy, it's slow. But you can vein mine. And we got enough. The question is, how do you make a flint and... Oh, okay. It's just steel. Okay, so let me try to gather some food so that we don't die over there. I'll be right back. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot make food in bulk, but we have a different variety of food that should be good enough. let's go to the Nether. Oh, that looks fancy. With shaders. Please don't kill me. And please don't crash. Am I in the Nether? Is it loading? Are we fine? Seem to be fine. Oh, we're burning. So if you guys remember, these are from Pam's Harvest Craft, the Nether version. They give us glowstone. We don't mind having a bit of quartz. Why? Awesome. But yeah, we want some Nether quartz. And definitely we want some soul sand. What the hell are those? Oops, I vein mine too much. I don't know what that is, but that is very cool. We also get a lot of glowstone. Nice. That was lucky. Pigmen are friendly, right? We're good. That one has a gas mask. But remember, the most important thing that we need is going to be quartz. We don't really have mending in this version of Minecraft, so what we need to do is that we need to craft a machine. We also don't have the repair enchantment, because that's from Thaumcraft. I think that should be enough. We can go home. What a jerk. Nether was fine. The white screen is not. This is something that I also remember from Project Ozone 2, and I think you need soapy water. How do you... Oh, it's this one. So we need a soap, which is easy. Finding everything is painful. I'm looking for lapis. We need 1 clay, and that's soap. That is soapy water. That goes on top. Start. Do you need power? It's nighttime. Every 5 seconds. Yeah, it does work, but it only works with vanilla tools. Well, at least you need 1 piece of vanilla, because it's also repairing my cobalt sword. You can't put the shovel in or the pickaxe, which is sad. Well, if that is the case, I should always have like 1 piece of broken vanilla armor, we put it inside, we repair the rest. I think it's worth it. Also, by sheer accident, I was trying to damage the hoe. Did you know that if you hoe grass, you get seeds? You don't need to find the gardens. Also, I just made an extra converter and a generator. I wasn't sure if it needs power. It doesn't. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there have been a few developments. One is that, yeah, I found the gas mask, and it's actually functioning because it does have a filter, it's 98% full. But another thing is that I have removed all of the chests. What have I done with them? Well, now they're down there. It's a bit more organized, at least I know where to look for everything. I have also done a ton more other things, however, before doing that, we have an urgent issue. That thing over there. So, do you see this? This is the Meteor, and I can assure you, last night it wasn't there. I was mining, I think I heard it fall down. So apparently if you come to the quest book, yeah, there is a thing that meteors can fall on your base. Thankfully there is a charm that we can make which will divert the meteors. I don't know how it will work. But first things first, let's do everything according to the quest book. We need an armor modification table. Oh, and by the way, we have like 56 blocks of tungsten. I think I looted that. It was in block form, I never noticed. But yeah, there you go. Armor modification table, that goes over there, I don't really care. Now we can at least start making the charm of protection. Divert meteors away from the player, and meteors no longer destroy blocks. There is an upgraded version, however it does require a volcanic gem, which you have to find it in a loot pack. Okay. So we do have some meteoric fragments because I did find a meteor, and that's it. You have to either put it in your helmet or your chestplate, you can't wear it as a bubble. So chestplate goes in. Amulet goes in, we take out the chestplate. Yeah, charm of protection. Okay, we should be fine. Now that we know that no more meteors are going to hit our base and destroy everything, let me give you a small update. So a few minutes ago I did mention that there are no mending books in this mod pack. It's 1.7, why would you have mending books? Apparently I was wrong, there is a mending book, it has been added. However, we don't really have means of getting it. I tried fishing, but I got garbage. These are even from different mobs, I just got fish. Another very important thing is that I have made myself a new mineshaft. It goes down to Y level 8. Obviously, I moved the foundry over there, I hooked it up to a smokestack so that we can get rid of some of the pollution, which for some reason it's still creating pollution. I was actually running out of cobalt, this is why I had to set it up again. I have done a crazy amount of mining, this is why we were running out of cobalt. But we have 5 blocks. Cool. At least I did try to bank our experience inside the tank. This is from Applied Energistics. You can do that because we do have open blocks. You see, we have the XP drain. However, if you break the tank, the XP is gone. Another very important thing is that I have made myself some drawers. These are frame drawers, meaning that you can use any block in order to make them. And the funny part about those drawers is that the recipe is like super simple. Because oak drawers require a mass storage unit, which is like iron plate. This one doesn't require anything. Another very important thing is that I have been sifting some dirt and I did manage to get some seeds. Wheat seeds. So I'm actually trying to mutate them and we already got something. Is that wheat? Yeah. We can remove that one and we wait. The way that you convert normal seeds into AgriCraft seeds is that you just have to put it inside the seed analyzer. That's it. So for example, if I want some grape seeds, we just put them inside, they will gain stats, and we plant them. Like so. Hopefully the double crop stick, instead of giving us wheat, is actually going to give us a better version of these crops, or sometimes mutate them into something new. It's just that they have to be fully grown. Yeah, like that. Then the process will be faster. Talking about seeds, we also have some special seeds over here. Certus quartz. It takes like 8 hours in real life, so I thought, yeah, let's just make half a stack. Although applied logistics is apparently gated behind the electric arc furnace. So our wheat seeds have mutated and we got a slightly better seed. Let's hope this one is better. It's garbage. It's fine, AgriCraft requires a lot of patience. But now that at least we got some wheat, can we befriend the cows? I need milk. Will you be my friend? Maybe he is my friend. Do you give me milk? No. What if we breed them? Yeah, maybe not, I have to play around with that. Also, do you remember that we went to the Nether in order to get glowstone so that I can have some lights? True that these are purple lights and nothing beats them, but apparently there is a light source which does not require any glowstone. It's just tungsten cable and that's it. Anyways, just before we wrap up today's episode, there are a few things that I wanted to check. So, I have made 2 fireboxes. It does the same thing that the heating oven does, but it's a bit more efficient. I thought since I want to use a furnace, a big one, this is more suitable. And it seems I was correct, because the colors match. So this is a steel furnace, it does 3 items at the same time, which is great, but every few items also gives you a bonus. There was a number in the tooltips, I didn't pay attention to it. But let's see. There is an exhaust pipe in the back. It started smelting. It's not really fast. Also, maybe it works with the ores. 1 ore gave me 16 ingots. What? Oh, it's supposed to give you 16. I found it inside the Meteor. There are actually tons of goodies inside, even MREs. Also, I just wanted to mention that the animation on the furnace is just amazing. I'm cool with that, even though we're not getting any byproducts, I have to read. Oh, it has an output for ores and wood, plus 25%. So we can't really count on the bonus, because I'm doing ore dabbling. The other item that I wanted to make is a sawmill, which literally has a spinning saw blade. I love this mod. It seems we have everything. We crafted it. Oh, this one is fancy, it doesn't have input and output. Oops. I mean, it doesn't have a user interface. Maybe we have to pipe in the items? So, can I give you wood? Yes. Okay, so I was doing some AgriCraft. It was early in the morning, I was not in the mood for recording. And that meteor just fell down. And very good. It did not destroy any blocks. So, let's vein mine it. See what's going on. Treasure block. What do we get? Actually, I needed a brand new pickaxe. And zirconium. But yeah, as I was saying, we can pipe in the items into the sawmill, and at this very moment we can just right click to retrieve them. It gives you a better yield on planks and you also get sawdust, which you can use it in order to make paper, which is good. We can also pipe it out using conveyor belts, but we're not going to do that today because we're not going to do any automations. We're just going to make a few machines, making our lives a bit easier. Actually, maybe for this one we should, because you have to do it one by one. So in order to pipe everything out, what we need is a conveyor ejector. Then we need a conveyor belt. You see, things are popping off. And then we need a conveyor inserter, which will hopefully put it inside the chest. Yeah, if you face it correctly. Anyways, for next episode, one of the things that we're missing is large amount of concrete. Because we do need to build stuff and I'm running out of pyramids to vein mine, so we need to find more. Can I get an extra heart? Thank you. Basically, I want to go on a very small adventure and I noticed that there is a safe here. There is a quest which tells us to make a screwdriver and some bobby pins. So... okay, you consume one, but you don't always open? There's like a 10% chance. Oh, we're out. Never mind. So pyramids spawn in the deserts and I think there is a massive desert here. We move that way. And yeah, I have also made a bunch of spare tools. We can always get resources on the way as well. This is the site of our old base. That's the pyramid that I have been vein mining. And there is a computer. We can break it down for circuits. Yeah, you see, looting is really fine. I was going to say that I'm going to bring you in once I find something of interest, but there is something of interest. We check this one first. Garbage. This is... I have no idea what this is. It looks cool. Green ooze. I thought it's an acid or something. Anyways, if I find something of interest, I'll bring you in. Don't explode. Okay, so I had to walk back home because I did find something of interest. The problem is that I couldn't open it. There are crates. So you can use a pickaxe, but you just pick them up. We need a crowbar. I found so many of them, and some of them might contain guns. Not sure. Open. Wow. Oh, these are food. And there's also a weapon crate. Hehe. Oh, it's a flare gun. Damn. It's okay. Let me try to dump some of the garbage from my backpack into the chests. I'll go back exploring. It was a very long journey. It took me a day. I never thought in my life that I'm going to be excited to find the desert temple, but here we are. You know, a few years ago I was visiting one of these places and a creeper fell down. I was not even near the pressure plate. There's food. More food. I did manage to find a brand new pyramid. I did manage to get a ton of concrete. That's not all. Here is more. If I find another one, then I'll go back home. I did not find another pyramid, but what I did manage to find was an office building. We take the computers. And the book. Why not? There was one zombie, but I don't think there are any spawners. I like the filing cabinets. Everything from this mod looks amazing. There's even a microwave. Oh, it's fine. I think we have everything that we are going to need. Let's just go back home. So I'm back at the base and something really fun just happened. Let me try to show you. If I do manage to eat, yes, thank you. So this is a brand new mod for me and I have no idea how everything works, right? Yes, ignore the shotgun. So we did manage to find the flare gun and I did manage to find flares. There was a green one that I fired, but if we reload this one, see what happens. We fire. Just wait a second. Oh my goodness. That's how I got the shotgun. Although I think each flare is different, right? Yeah, that one is food. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, I look weird. Bye bye.